Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mario Pedro Gould. You are now tuned into the Alpha Success Television Network on another spectacular day. Matter of speaking, this is your lucky day today, ladies and gentlemen. This is your lucky day today, ladies and gentlemen. You're probably saying, Mario, why is it my lucky day? That's a beautiful question. It is your lucky day because I'm feeling very, very inspired. I'm feeling very, very desirous to give you, the viewer of the Alpha Success Television Network, a quantum leap in your understanding of this very, very exciting topic of successful living. Before I actually begin today's discourse, I would like to set the foundation with a specific premise. And the premise goes something like this. The number one reason, or one of the main reasons that up until now you've been having a very difficult time in demonstrating peace, prosperity, health, success in every arena of your life is because a significant amount of your energy, ladies and gentlemen, a significant amount of your energy has been misused towards keeping you angry, resentful, and in pain. It's a very, very powerful concept we're going to be exploring today. So let me repeat it one more time. One of the main causes of failure in specific arenas of your life, it could be financial, it could be as it pertains to your health, it could be as it pertains to your relationships, is because a significant amount of your energy, ladies and gentlemen, is being used to keep you staying in anger, pain, and resentment. Where are you going with this, Mario? Where are you going with this, Mario? Stay with me for a second as I give you a very small definition of what I mean when I speak of successful living. When I speak of successful living, I define it as your ability to have a very high level of spiritual development and break into higher levels of consciousness, which leads to you having peace. I speak of very high levels of mental development, which allow you to have clarity and sharpness of mind. I speak of very high levels of emotional intelligence, emotional balance, emotional development, so you can go through life calm regardless of the vicissitudes of life. I speak of very high level of physical development, so your body is vibrant, your body is vital, your body is radiating well-being and health. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, when I speak of successful living, of course we have to look at the state of the bank account. You are financially stable, and your bank account is attractively growing. So what is the relationship between successful living and the misuse of energy that keeps one in a state of negative thinking, specifically the very strong, potent negative emotions of anger, pain, and resentment, which do not operate on the surface level on the mind, but operate on this under surface level of the mind. That means you don't even know that you're angry, you don't even know that you're painful, you don't even know that you're resentful. Before we delve deeply into this topic, let me paint a very vivid picture in your mind which will enable you to grasp this concept, embody it, and use it to create a significant transformation in your life. Suppose that today you decided that you are going to climb the tallest mountain in the world, Mount Everest. What would you carry with you? Of course, you will have your backpack that's got your food supplies. You will have your backpack that's got the books that you want to read, that's got equipment for climbing. You'll carry everything that you believe will keep you safe in case you got into some sort of accident on your ascent up the mountain. You begin climbing the mountain, and you realize somewhere in your ascension that in order for you to go higher and higher and higher till you make it to the peak of Mount Everest, you will have to release some of the things that you're carrying, because the weight is becoming too heavy for the steep incline. Ladies and gentlemen, you will eventually reach a point whereby you will realize that everything that you're carrying would have to stay, and only your body light with strength and your courage will take you to the top of your mountain. Are you with me? Are you with me with this picture? I'm painting this picture because I would like to share with you the truth that in your life too, in your journey towards successful living, it is not the amount of things that you will accumulate in your mind, maybe all your knowledge and skills and abilities. Yes, they do play a role, but it's not about accumulating more, but it is about letting go of thoughts that do not serve you, specifically negative thoughts that hold you back. So I recently just finished a seminar, a self-development seminar, and it was a very interesting experience because when I went into this self-development seminar, I went in there just to get, a few tools to continue on my development process. And also I wanted to be in an environment where there's a lot of people so I can, just watch different people, how they behave in a group dynamic so I can develop, my ability to understand psychology better. But what really surprised me was throughout the weekend of the self-development program, I had a significant transformation that made me have the feeling of being lighter in this world, and then this is going to result in me propelling faster and farther towards, my promised land of milk and honey. And it happened something like this. On the first day of the self-development seminar, the instructor gave us some assignments. And one of the assignments that he gave us to do, in the night before we come back on the next day, was to write a letter to anybody or to anybody that we have an incomplete relationship with. Okay, write a letter to anybody with whom we have an incomplete relationship with the intention of eventually sending this letter to them. And in the letter we are to express, how we feel. And in the letter we are to acknowledge this other person for the good things that they have brought into our life. And in this letter we are to forgive the person with whom we have an incomplete relationship, and to open up the relationship again if that is what we choose to do. And it's funny, I got home and the person that I had an incomplete relationship with was actually my father. And I was feeling very, very resistant to write the letter. I was like, I'm not writing a letter to my dad, and to hell with this instructor. And the reason I was feeling a lot of this resistance is because, ladies and gentlemen, in the past 16 years, I might have spoken to my father only 5 times, maybe seen him about 5 times, and I totally forgot about him, and I didn't want anything to do with him because, when I was growing up, my childhood was very painful. There was a lot of mental and physical abuse, that I experienced. And because I went through this mental and physical abuse, I had this, developed this armor around me to keep myself safe. And the number one person that I didn't want to come into that armor was my father. So I stayed away from him for a very long time. And hence, when we were told to do this exercise to reach somebody we have an incomplete relationship, I was feeling a lot of resistance. So I said, hey, I'm not going to write the letter to my father. The interesting thing that happened to me, ladies and gentlemen, was, as you can observe very, very quickly, is that some part of my subconscious mind, some part of my unconscious mind was holding on to a lot of anger, resentment, and pain from the experiences that I had as a childhood, and hence I had put up some form of wall. And this negative energy was actually being used to hold me back. It's pulling me back because I can't take that energy and move forward. So needless to say, I remember getting up the next day at 5:47 a.m. in the morning. 5:47 a.m. in the morning, and usually I do my meditation, usually I do my prayer, but for some reason my mind seemed so agitated that I decided to sit in the hot bath with salts. And when I was sitting in the hot pot with salt, I realized, ladies and gentlemen, I realized that I have to write this letter of completion to my father. So I got up and immediately got down and I started writing the letter. I acknowledged my father for all the great things that he did for me. I acknowledged him for all the effort that he actually put to actually get me to where I am today. And I actually told him that I can see how every decision that he made was with the understanding that he had at the time, and he always had the best interests for me in his heart. And I forgave him for everything that went wrong, and I invited him to open up the relationship. To open up the relationship once again, because I'd like to be, my father's son, and I'd like him to be my father. And it was a very interesting experience in terms of, I did get a chance to call him, on the same day and express to him what I had written on the letter. But what I felt from that experience, ladies and gentlemen, was a load being taken off my back and being put on the ground. A load being taken off my back and being put on the ground. I felt lighter. And it really puzzled me that for 16 years I have been going around in my life with a significant amount of anger, pain, and resentment, which was actually sucking energy out of me, and I didn't even know, because it was very, very deeply hidden in my unconscious mind, in my subconscious mind. So what I realized was that, okay, I need to create closure in every relationship that I have some anger, pain, and resentment. So I talked to my mom and seen if there was anything that was missing there. I talked to my ex-girlfriend and seen if there was anything that I needed to bring to closure there. And what I observed, ladies and gentlemen, was as I created closure, as I allowed myself to forgive others and allowed them to forgive me for any mistakes that I have made, I felt this significant release of energy, which immediately has become available to me to aid me and direct me and lift me upward towards my promised land of milk and honey. The reason I share this story with you, ladies and gentlemen, is I'd like to invite you to look at your past relationships that you have had. Probably it's going to be to do with your parents, but it could have been, with a guardian, or it could have been with somebody that you were dating or you were married to, or anybody that you had a very close energetic bond to, and something went wrong in the relationship and you became angry, you became resentful, and you had a significant amount of pain. I'm inviting you to go back and have a look at that pain. I'm inviting you to go back and look at that resentment, look at that anger. Call the person, write a letter to the person if they're still alive, and forgive them for anything that may have went wrong, and forgive yourself for any pain that you may have caused in the same scenario. The reason I invite you to do this is because a significant amount of your energy, ladies and gentlemen, may have been misused towards keeping you back. And as soon as you forgive, and as soon as you bring closure to some painful relationships that you have, then this new energy will be released, and you can harness this energy to aid you towards your journey of being successful, whether success is measured financially, spiritually, emotionally, or relationally. This was a significant breakthrough for me, ladies and gentlemen, because it was a blind spot. It is something that I didn't know that I didn't know. So maybe you may have a blind spot that is holding you back from achieving your peak potential. Do some investigation and find out if there's any anger, pain, and resentment within you, and take the steps right now to let go of those negative emotions, reconnect with people that you may have had an issue with, and continue on your journey towards your promised land of milk and honey, because the people are waiting for you to let your lamp shine. Have a wonderful day, ladies and gentlemen. Catch you next week.